Can you name any chapter in the Quran? Any one. Reading it 3 times, I'm sure you could name a lot of them, right? Because I could name a bunch of them in the Bible.
Can I name what?
Any chapter in the Quran. Because if you read it 3 times, I'm sure you know God has a God. Does that make sense? Does the Father have a God?
Now, if I come to this, I'll say I don't know, and then I'll quote
Excellent.
I'll quote the Old Testament that says
God is not the author of confusion?
No. It says it's somebody. I think Isaiah. It says who has known the mind of the Lord? Who has ever?
Wait, so you believe in the Old Testament or you don't?
What?
Because when I was going to quote the Old Testament, you said it's not reliable. Now you're depending on it. Isn't that a little bit contradictory?
I would say it seems that many places it seems to contradict.
Okay, so then let's. No, but if it contradicts, then leave the Old Testament out, right? We can't depend. Like let's say you have a measuring stick.
If you're like American, you like the Constitution, but there's one part of the Constitution that was really bad.
But the Constitution is not the word of God, right? So the Constitution is the work of men. If you're saying this is the work of men, then I'd agree with you, and then it's no longer divine, right? It's the work of men.
But I think you're using too much black and white reading.
But it is, right? But see, Islam, we have a very clear distinction. The word of God is perfect. No contradictions, no additions, no subtractions, right? The word of men can be changed and then has to be taken with a grain of salt, right? Does that not make sense?
Yeah, but
I mean, would you say the word of God would have contradictions?
My bottom line is I don't know for sure.
Okay. Have you read the Quran?
Yeah, 3 times.
The whole Quran?
3 times.
Excellent. So, what in the actual Quran did you find pleasing? Did you like?
Just because it was kind of familiar with Christianity.
Okay, like what verse, what chapter? You've read it 3 times, so I'm sure you're familiar with it. Can you name any chapter in the Quran? Any one. Reading it 3 times, I'm sure you could name a lot of them, right? Because I could name a bunch of them in the Bible.
Can I name what?
Any chapter in the Quran. Because if you read it 3 times, I'm sure you know. What about the Quran puts you, like you've already admitted that in the Bible there are clear contradictions, right?
Yeah, I think the other thing too is, honestly, it seems women are too excluded from
How's that?
religion.
How's that?
There's no women here.
Oh, I mean, just because there's no women here doesn't mean they're excluded.
Yeah, but it seems that way.
Right? But I mean, shouldn't a woman in Christianity be covered when she's out herself? It's in the New Testament. First, you know the verse already? Corinthians chapter 11, verses 5 to 10. But every woman who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head. For that is one and the same as if her head were shaved. For if a woman is not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it's shameful for her to be shorn or shaved, let her be covered. So wouldn't you say that Christian women then, according to this, should be covered?
Paul again. I don't think
Corinthians as well?
St. Paul. I don't think.
And so I mean, so then most of the New Testament's also corrupted. So what do you believe in?
I'm kind of like I'm saying, I'm searching.
Okay. So when you're searching, you see all these New Testament, Old Testament corruption that you have admitted and you have brought to me. So what I'm saying is the Quran is unchanged, Word of God, no contradiction. When you read it 3 times, did you find a single contradiction?
The same thing about the Bible.
But I just showed them to you. And you just tell them, come here and discuss it with us. All right? Let's keep going. Go home, pray to the one Creator to guide you the truth, and come back and we'll talk more.
Yeah, I want to learn about the Zoroastrian religion, but I can't find it.
Don't waste your time.
You know about it?
Yeah, I know about it.